Welcome back, everyone, to our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager. So here we are, the final race of the season, and admittedly, this has been very much a roller coaster year. We've had some great finishes toward the beginning and middle portion of the season, and here lately, it seems like we can't get out of our own way in order to get things done. So we're going to hope for the best. We're going to give it everything we've got in this final race, and then we're going to head into the off season and really look forward to some great things for next year. So first things first, of course, we go through our emails and get these things out of the way. The pit crew, boy, we definitely got a lot of improvements we want to do there in the future. Mainly just keeping out of the mistakes. Let's see. Okay, agent has been telling reporters that we're interested. Absolutely, we're interested. Don't even know who the driver is. Wow, yeah, this is a very good driver. Can we take a better look at you? You are yeah, not bad at all. I mean, this is getting into some good drivers, not making a terribly huge amount of money. And of course, now we're getting to the part of the season where it becomes interesting to talk about signing drivers that are currently with another team. Even though their contract is set to expire at the end of the season, a lot of times if you try to wait for their contract to expire in December, then they've already been re-signed before you really get an opportunity to sign them. So it's very difficult to get that done, but it's a lot of fun at the same time to try to figure out what's the right thing for you to do. We're going to have some issues of our own with drivers and staff and all that we're going to have to evaluate, but we'll wait and do that after the season is over. Let's take a quick look at our pit crew. Before I turn this, because I do want to turn the auto manage back on, I do want to see if we can get 3 is a pretty good number of pit crew to swap in and out. But I want to see if we can get maybe one more. All right, we've got a full list here. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of anybody who has a mistake chance. For now, who knows? In the future, we may not do that. But for now, I want to do that. And I want to try to find some just overall well-rounded guys. I like what I see here. Okay, pretty good on tires, terrible at refueling, but not bad at fixing, which is important at the very beginning of the year. So this guy could go both the front jack and the tires. This guy also very good on tires, rear jack, refueling or fixing. Oh, this is a good all-around hire. I like this. Let's go ahead and hire him. Again, we're spending some money. But we're trying to look to the future. Let's look this last one. So nothing for the tires, but really good on the jacks and really good on the fixing. Okay, so here's what I look for. Okay, I get rid of the mistake chances, even though they were pretty low anyway. I get rid of those simply because when I look at this, mistakes are what I'm trying to keep away from. If it takes us a second or two longer in the pits, then so be it. If we can just keep away from the mistakes. Let's just try to build on this thing slowly. And so I also like this guy. This isn't bad. Okay, this isn't bad at all. Again, we're looking for more overall, all-around performance. So now, I come in here and we've got plenty. So let's see. Swap out the fatigued. And we should be in really good shape for the foreseeable future. Let's see. We've got a guy up here. I would like to swap them out if I could. Unfortunately, yeah, looks like we're not going to be able to. Everybody here is fairly low on stamina, or at least lower than what he is. Okay, so I feel like this will give us enough people to do what we need to do. So let's go ahead and turn the auto manage back on. And we do want, for now, we want Mason here to manage this. Okay, now granted, in the long term, we're going to need better mechanics than this. But for now, I think we're good. So we're going to auto manage this stuff, turn that back on now that we've got some substitutes for them to work with. And we'll move on from that. Now, what about, not standing, sponsors? Okay, one more race remaining here, one more here. Okay, so we'll be re-signing some sponsors before next season. Okay, marketability. We're still in the 1-star category, which is no surprise. And at some point, we're going to sign some new drivers for car number 2. However, I'm not in a huge hurry to do that because it's going to cost us a lot of money. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. We need to get our car repair complete. And there we go. That's out of the way. And at this point in the season, we're almost done working on the car. We have our performance where we want it. We're not developing any new parts. And our reliability is almost at 100, or basically right at 100 on every part. So at this point, we are all but done with that factory work. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward one more day. There we go. And before we get into anything else, let's see what we've got on car 1. Yeah, everything is basically at 100%. For some reason, it's saying we can improve the performance. So, oh, okay, so we're actually 1 away. So we might as well go ahead and do that. And we'll let this just run and not worry anymore about that. Okay, so let's see. Track practice. What do we got? Holy cow, look at that. No thank you. $1 million to be an expert on one particular track. Again, later on, when we're in the A class and all that, if this is indeed a track that we're running, then we might look at doing that. But for right now, money is a huge issue for us, and we can't afford to be doing stuff like that. Besides the fact that he's not likely to be one of our long-term drivers. Okay, HQ needs to be upgraded. No, we are not going to make that promise. Absolutely not. Even though we're going to be upgrading it, it's probably not going to be the forecasting center. And again, Petra may not even be in our long-term plans. Okay, let's take a quick look at what we have. All right, so we have no parts there. There's nothing left to do. Well, one tiny little bit to do on car 1. And just a very little bit to do on car 2. Just to have something to do, basically. All right, we'll go ahead and for now, let's move this over to the reliability. But again, it's not going to make a whole lot of difference. All right, get those emails out of the way. So yeah, we're going to have a lot to do this off season about who do we keep, who do we try to improve upon, new crew chiefs, or I continually forget what they call them in this game. New designer. I mean, who do we want to keep? Who do we want to improve upon? Lots of stuff to do. All right, let's look through our email. All right, target update. Yes, we've been working our way back to 6th over the last several races. And simulator, yes, I would love to have one as well. That sounds really good. All right, 5th or above. All right, so we know we're going into the negative here. That much we know. But that is okay. And let's do that. And I believe we're all set. No parts to worry about. So let's head to the track. All right, practice and qualifying went well. Actually, we were in the top 5 in qualifying, which gets us the money bonus, which is always good. And also, I've decided to swap up the drivers a little bit. Sophia is actually going to be starting this race as opposed to Petra. Petra's been having a rough time the last few races, so we're going to swap things up a little bit. And we're going to let Petra probably finish up the race rather than start the race this time. But we'll see how it goes along with the time. But Sophia is going to get the start. Our setup came out great for both cars. And we're going to go starting fuel maxed out at 39 laps, which equates very nicely to the super soft tires. That way fuel and tires match up pretty close on that. And of course, we're going to be running the engine mode on high. Let's see, we might as well just do that with both. And let's go ahead and get this thing started. I'm excited to get going and see how this turns out. Because again, we've got to make some decisions on drivers for next year. So let's see. Oops, I got this backwards from how I prefer it. So let's see how Sophia does it. She has a little bit less stamina, and but not bad. She's still at a 91, which is not terrible at all. And her red zone is not huge. So I think we're going to be okay. Let's see what kind of stint we can get from her to get this thing going. Now again, we usually fall back quite a bit at the beginning of the race. Let's see if that maintains for this particular race. So far, so good. We'll keep an eye on the tire heat. It's really low right now. We're going to try push that a little bit, but again, we don't want to hurt the tires too much. All right, and already we're getting... All right, we got our first driver mistake. So it seems like we just can't get away from those right now. But it doesn't seem to have hurt a ton. Now, granted, it hurts the tires and the tire wear, but we are doing great right now. We're sitting in 4th, and we're right there on the back bumper of 2nd and 3rd. So we are in great shape. All right, tire heat is about up to normal. And you can see the tire wear drops pretty quickly. Wow. Wow, did you see that? That was very quick. And I just happened to be looking, but there looked to be a wreck going through there. At least she went off track. The car right in front of us. So now we are... Look at the gaps here. We are in great position in 2nd place. Now, granted, we're not looking to catch the leader as much as we'd love to. It's not looking like that's going to be what we can do. But we are showing speed, and this is what we want. We just want to have a shot at this thing right now. We're building. We've come a long way since both cars running at the back of the pack in every race, and maybe passing 1 or 2 cars if we're lucky. But we've come a long way from that, and we'll continue to work on this and get better over time. All right, yeah, the tire wear is going to be our enemy here. No question. Because we're already down to 50% at 23 minutes. But we're going to hang on there as best we can and try not to abuse these tires. In fact, I'm inclined to let the temperature go a little bit lower just so we can keep from pushing as much. I know that's not great either, but our speed is awesome right now. I mean, our speed is great. And this is how you want to start the final race of the season. Okay, tire wear is definitely dropping like a rock. Okay, stamina's looking good. So tire wear, it looks like, is going to be the thing that really gets us for her. So Sophia, not great on tires. But boy, is she fast so far. She is having a great stint. So it looks like in a couple more laps, let's go ahead and push the engine a little bit more and let her get what she can get. Reliability should not be an issue for the engine. And of course, fuel is not an issue for her right now. So we're going to let her go ahead and push what little she can. She's at 37 minutes. Yeah, and hanging right in there, only 4 seconds off the lead. All right, now we've got a driver coming up behind us that is just blazingly fast. That is... Okay, so now it's time to come in. We'll set up our first pit stop. Unfortunately, we didn't get as long as we needed to get. So we're going to get somewhere around 45 minutes total here. So we're going to put Lee in the car. And we're going to do another 45-minute stint. It's really the only option we have at this point because of the fuel. And I just want to keep going with this speed. Let's just keep going with that. And let's see. Let's go, yeah, 45-minute stint at best. So we'll hope that he can do a little bit better with the tires. All right, here we go. First pit stop. Definitely quicker than we wanted it. She would have been a great pairing for the harder of the 3 compounds. Now we'll see how Lee does. So obviously that moves us well back in the standings. Okay, let's go ahead and queue up car number 2. And let's put them on the soft tires. There we go. We'll try to keep this thing going and get all of the speed out of this we possibly can. These guys are obviously going to run, it would appear, the 2-stop race, which we're not going to be able to compete with. But we're going to get all the speed we can out of this car and just see how much we do have. Okay, you can see the pit stops have started, so we're moving up in the standings. And lap time's not that bad, really. Not that bad. All right, let's cool down on the tires. Okay, so we're sitting back and forth, and you can see there they made a pit stop and got out in front of us. Again, speed is a beautiful thing. All right, so we're sitting in 3rd after everybody's first stop, but again, you have to keep in mind we're going to have to make, it would appear, one more stop than everybody, at least among the leaders anyway. Okay, let's go ahead and push more. Go ahead and push both engine and the driver, and we'll see if that can make any difference. Fuel is not really a limiting factor for us. It's more the tires. Okay, we're running into 36s. That is great compared to those around us, no doubt. All right, that is awesome. All right, let's back off some now. Okay, so low 37s, and you can see that's good among those around us. That is not bad at all, which of course is what we need to do if we're going to have any shot to get in the points, since we're going to be making an extra pit stop. I'm enjoying this running for speed. This is fun. It's a break in what we've been doing. And it's going to be interesting to see if this can work out for us. All right, let me back off. Wow, the tires wore out much quicker than I thought they were, so we're going to be making more stops than I thought. Wow, just trying to keep the tire heat in there has really not turned out well for us. So we're going to get... Yeah, this is not where we wanted to be. So I'm going to have to get these tires off. So let's go ahead and we're going to put Petra in there. And this is much earlier than I thought we were going to be putting her in there. So let's go ahead and we're going to back off of that a little bit. We need to get a longer stint in right here. We can come back for a short stint at the end, but we need to get a longer stint in right here to try to keep with a 3-stop strategy. Okay. So we got that pit stop queued, swapping out the drivers. Okay, everything looks good, complete, no errors, and we're off. Okay, that's what I like to see. So now we're going to try and make it, our final pit stop needs to be no earlier than really about 45 minutes remaining. Preferably about 35 or so, if we could do that. So that means about an hour in the car for Petra. This should not be a huge deal given the tires that we've got on the car. But again, you never know how it's going to turn out. All right, almost time for another stop for car 2. Try to run that fuel down as much as I can. All right, let's back off on the tires. All right, see where we are on lap time. So we're running 38s. And yeah, that's around the lap times of those around us, at least on the same tires anyway. Okay, so we'll see where we end up as everything filters through pit stops. All right, let's go ahead and make another pit stop here. Okay. All right, so far so good. Lap times are definitely not what we want, but we're giving it all we got here. One of the things that would lead me to believe that Petra may not be back with us next year is that she is not a pay driver. Our other two drivers on car number 1 are pay drivers. So she would have to be a good deal better to necessitate that heavy price tag that she brings compared to the other drivers. Now, it's going to be hard for us, as we've seen in the past, to get drivers that are up, 4 and 5 stars, simply because we're in the B division, and they don't want to drop down and run in that type of a division. What they want is to run in the highest levels of racing, which obviously makes sense. So there are some better drivers out there. We'll just have to see what is available and what we're willing to pay for. Because it could very well be that Petra ends up back with us next year. And if that's the case, then I'm certainly not going to be sad about that. Okay, tire wear is looking good. We're at 61%. And tire heat is looking pretty good as well, as we go a little bit above, a little bit below where we want to be. And I don't imagine stamina is going to be an issue either for her. So we're basically just running as hard as we can within reason. And with that in mind, all right, we're still at 73% on the engine. I don't want to push any harder than I am now, because I want to make sure we've got enough fuel to make it an hour. I think we're going to be fine. But again, kind of is what it is. And I don't want to lose any speed, because we're trying something a little bit different here in this race, and I'm trying to stick with it. All right, yes, the fuel level is definitely low. No question about that. All right, so we find ourselves up in second. That tells us we've got some speed after everybody has evened out on the pit stops at 2 for everyone. The question, of course, will become who's going to have to stop again. Now, it looks like the leader will not be stopping again. But those behind him look like they're probably going to, back until about 5th. 5th, they are probably not going to stop again. These guys are definitely stopping again. And yeah, so I'm thinking we've got a shot here. We have enough speed in the car that I feel like we've got a shot at making this happen. All right, so now you can see we're getting low on fuel. All right, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to back off a little bit here and try to make it a little bit longer on this tank. Because we are in good shape when I look at the gaps. Probably not for a podium, but I think we're in the running for the points. All right, so we're running this thing right down to it. Okay, let's go ahead and turn this back up because we know we got to come in next time by. All right, no weather to worry about, which is good because I completely forgot to pay attention to that. All right, we're going to be good in timing the car. And so we need about 38 minutes, 39 minutes. For her, you can see she made it 43 minutes the first time around. So we're going to try to finish up strong here and do the same thing. Okay, we're not going to need that much, but I've actually forgotten how much we do need. I forgot how much we had there. I'll tell you what, I'm not even going to take that chance. Because what I may do is start really pushing that engine hard toward the end of this race. Alright, so we've run the fuel right down to the end. Okay, jacks, everything looks good. Everything looks good on the tires. Refueling. Looks good, no mistakes. That's what I need. That's what I need. So let's push this thing hard. Okay, tire heat is already jumping up pretty good. So you can see that dropped us down to 7th position, a couple of positions out of the points, even with the extra pit stop. But now we're not going to have to worry about that because we're immediately going to leapfrog 2 guys in front of us because we're not that far behind them. And when they make their pit stop, we're going to leapfrog them. That gets us into the points. Then I think we're going to get a couple of more pit stops in front of us, I think. But we'll see. So we've got a shot, an outside shot at a podium here. And that's something that I am very much interested in. Okay, keep a little bit of watch on the weather. It looks like we're fine. So we're going to run this thing as hard as we can. All right, there we go. That pit stops have now moved us up into the points. And we are not far out of 4th position. I'm going to collapse soon. Wow, I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. She was in there for, wow, she made it almost an hour. Okay, 24 minutes left. Let's go ahead and put some soft tires on, or super softs. And yeah, that's fine. Just fill it up. All right, here we go. So we're about 4 seconds, 3.5, 4 seconds out. Please let me see the car that's actually moving. And whoops, let the tires get too hot. Oh, a mistake there. 8.1 seconds on the fueling. There we go. There we go, making that pass. So we're now up to 4th. And this is reasonably as high as we can expect to get. If you look at the gaps, I mean, we're not going to be able to run these guys down. That part is not going to happen. We just don't have enough speed for that. We do have to be concerned with the person behind. Oh, wait, we got a pit stop here. Wow, they came in for ultras. Very interesting. All right, another pit stop. Now we move up even farther onto the podium. How about that? I like it. I like it. So now we just need to make sure that everything makes it to the end. Nobody's really coming behind us on fresh tires or anything. And our tire wear is looking great. 8 minutes left in the race. Of course, tons and tons of fuel. So let's go ahead and might as well push that. And let's just go. I know we're taking risks here, but hey, what's the fun if you don't? All right, so okay, not bad. About 11 seconds, 12 seconds out of second position. So this is turning out really good, really good. I should have done this earlier. So I know Petra has had. I didn't realize it at the time, but I noticed that she has had a debuff on her that has reduced her skill level. So we're not seeing her full potential these last few races, but I am impressed today. Sophia did a great job. Now, it became clear that if we want to be able to use Sophia, we're going to have to use her on the hardest compound tire, because she is really hard on tires, it would appear. Or at least a little bit harder than our other drivers. But I am thrilled. We are on the podium. And folks, that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about ultimately. Getting on the podium, and then once you can consistently get on the podium, then you start attacking wins. Wait. We were second? How did we get second? I totally missed it. Totally missed that. I guess somebody either ran off course or had to make a pit stop or something. Hey, I'll take it. So that second place is going to give us 12 points, which is huge for us. Let's move over to the driver championship. Yes, I was hoping this is what would happen. Again, everybody is so close in the middle of the field. We were able to use this to leapfrog up to third. Now, in addition to just wanting to do better and getting better year after year, this also means that we're going to get more money in the off season. So that is huge all around. An excellent race. And definitely lets me know that we've got some drivers that we can work with. We keep working on the car. We keep getting better. We keep getting better HQ. We're getting there. We're getting to where we need to be. So I am thrilled. Okay, we get a grand total of 1.33% increase. For a second place finish, we get 1.33. All right, so we lose only 822, so that's going to put us in the negative, but not all that much, actually. And we've managed to get some new crew members and all of that, I think, sorted out. I think, as long as the auto manage works out that the way I'm hoping it will. So here we go, world champions, no surprise here. They have been dominating the season. They had 3 race wins, 9 podiums. They were on the podium for every race. That is awesome. So they'll come home with 22.6 million. It'll be interesting to see what our take is. We've seen what it's been in the past, and we'll see how much it goes up for this season. So that'll do it for this season. We'll come back next time, and as normal, we will go through the off season. We'll receive our money. We'll prepare next year's car. We'll make decisions on which drivers we want to keep, which ones we want to move on from. So a lot to do coming up in our next video as we prepare for next season. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more Motorsport Manager.